even though I was kind of checked out of the competition at that point, I was kind of ready to go. I still had a lot of fun with all the other girls.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. You look beautiful. You know what? I think I'm ready for just the right amount of Michael.
Love that. Love that.
The Earth may be flat, but Canada has curves. I'm Eve 6000, and I do not believe that the Earth is flat, so put down your pitchforks for now. I'm sure I will say something else later to piss you off.
I love your hair.
Thank you. This was done by Ian Russell. He actually was this hairstylist and makeup artist for a lot of the, or all of the guest judges on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it's a little flat.
I know, you know what? I had to wear a flat hair for this occasion. You know, I thought I would have to make true to my brand, you know?
You know, you have to, if you have something happen to you on Drag Race, you have to take it all the way to the bank. That's your brand for the rest of your life.
When I think of Carrie-Anne Moss in The Matrix, I think of the really slicked back, shiny hair, and this hair feels a little basic and flat from here. What? Okay.
That was an iconic moment, and one other iconic moment. You have so many. There's like too many for me to even like put into this interview. But I think a lot of people want to know, did you block Brooklyn?
As soon as I get out of here and get my hands back on my phone, I'm going to block Brooklyn Heights immediately on all social media.
I did not block Brooklyn, but some people may know she blocked me years ago. But it's all ancient.
I did not know
now.
that.
I don't even know why it was, and she's never told me, but it's okay. She doesn't have me blocked now, and I'm okay with that.
BTR, Kendall, and Gia.
I think that's the top three that I sort of felt from the
Really?
vibe,
Is that the impression you got? I thought it was the opposite.
Oh! Well, you do love delusion.
You were quite the character on the show. I want to know, have you reclaimed delusional? And have you took that to the bank? Because that would be great.
I tried to. I put out a shirt with the picture, with like a cute little picture of my lion look, and I put delusional on it, but nobody bought it. So whatever, you know.
If you're watching this and you like drag girls and the whole franchise, buy Eve's freaking shirt. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know. The merch sales are not through the roof at this point, but maybe we'll see later once it gets redistributed on other channels or something.
Eve thinks she's so amazing. It's another week of delusion, and if she's in the bottom, I'm sorry, sister, like I don't care.
Now, you were one of the first girls I kind of noticed on the show because you had such a big online presence. I think it's super smart. Because if you're on a show like this and you're not marketing yourself, then girl, why? You know?
Right.
I want to know, what has been the reception from the fans since the show aired?
The reception from the fans has not exactly been great for me. It's been a lot of negativity that I've had to sort of deal with, but you know, I kind of just have to, you know, recognize that there are people who understand me and people who don't, and people who don't want to, and you know, it's just something that I'm just gonna have to live with. I do have one of the lowest followings of the cast, so you know, do with that what you will. But you know, I just think, I don't know, like I feel like if the show were being watched by more people,
yeah,
I would kind of be excelling more because there would be more people to appreciate what I'm doing, you know. But because it's less, you know, math.
I get it. But I'm one of those people that really enjoy you on the show and also on social media. You're really funny. You're very active. At least I can go through my timeline and expect I'll see a funny tweet from Eve at least once a day. And I like that.
Or a comment on whatever TikTok videos you're watching.
Right. You know, I love that.
Eve, let me get the numbers right. 1, 2, 3 guys tried to ruin my life. A farmer named Joe was good to a hoe till I found out I was number 1, 2, 3, 4.
You were on Drag Race for some of the most iconic episodes. Like, at least, let's say iconic challenges, at least. You were there for the design challenge, the Rusical, Snatch Game, Girl Group Challenge. Everyone wants to make it to these, you know, episodes where they get to showcase their talents. Which one were your favorites?
Oh, I loved the Girl Group Challenge because we finally got to work in a group. And you wouldn't think it by watching what they've shown of me on the show, but I really enjoyed working with all of the girls, and I thought we had such a great time together. It was so much fun. I loved like being able to support each other, and it was something that we didn't get for the entire rest of the experience, you know?
Right.
So I was really, really, really happy getting to work in the girl group. And I think even though I was kind of checked out of the competition at that point, I was kind of ready to go. I still had a lot of fun with all the other girls, and I think we all worked really well together.
I don't know if you watched my reaction to the last episode, but
I did.
I was probably on the delusional train like you, because you guys are my favorite group. I was like,
Girl, I thought,
love everything. Why are they not
honestly,
loving
like,
it like I am loving it?
I think a lot of the judging on this season is very heavily weighted on looks, and the other group's looks all really went together, and ours did not. Like, we did not have any similar colors. I saw your review. You liked that the looks were all different. We each had our own sort of personality and stuff. And I like that too. I like that Spice Girls vibe, you know, where everybody's a little bit different, but we did have the elements tied together. Like, we all had fringe, we all had, you know, a belt, we all had denim, you know, like we tried to tie it together in whatever way we could. But at the end of the day, you have what you have. So like, we each brought a country pop girl group outfit. We weren't told to bring a black one, a pink one, a red one, you know?
Right.
So I was happy with what we did as a group. I think my verse was really strong, and I do think I did well with the choreo. I mean, were they expecting me to become Janet Jackson overnight? Like, I don't dance. So I pretty much hit all the choreo. Like, sure, they could find a few clips of me being a little iffy with my box step, but like, I'm sorry, that's not part of my muscle memory. I'm not a dancer.
Watching it, I didn't notice it that much, so that's why it wasn't an issue for me. I'm like, okay, obviously these are not dancing girls. They're performers, but they're not like Britney Spears type queens. Right. So I expected it not to be as polished because you guys did it yourselves, and I don't know how long you get to rehearse, but I thought it was
not
pretty
long.
Fine.
Yeah, honestly, I was proud of it. I think at the end of the day, what it came down to was probably that their runways were also stronger as a group. You know, I think my runway was the strongest in my group in terms of fitting the category and in terms of just the strength of the runway overall. But I think in our group, I don't think there was a winning look and performance together. Whereas with Gia, she had a winning look and performance together. None of us on my team had that, because I didn't have the winning performance and Cynthia didn't have the winning look, and neither did Kendall. So none of us could have been the winner. So that might be why they picked the other team.
That makes sense, I guess. Whatever.
Being in the bottom so many times and hearing negative. Now believe in yourself. It's like,
I know, girl,
you know?
but dwelling on it.
Well, I'm not dwelling on it.
It's a little bit.
No, I'm not dwelling on it. I'm being asked about it and I'm talking about it. Don't therapize me right now. I'm not interested in a group therapy session every fucking week.
I have a fan question. So one of the people that watch my channel, they want to know, shout out to Runway, by the way, was your experience any different than what you initially expected it to be like on the show?
Yeah, it was definitely different. And I would say, you know, there's a lot of like rumors that go around about like what it's like being on Drag Race. And a lot of people say like a lot of ridiculous things. Like, I've heard people say like, oh yeah, we were standing up there judging for 6 hours, and that's not true.
Things like that.
That's
and
not true.
Like, that's torture.
It is not true. I'm sorry. Like, literally, the judging takes an hour, like maybe a little bit more than that max. You know, all they have to do is give one critique per judge per person. It doesn't take 6 hours. You know, like there might have been like waiting in between, but like nobody is standing on the runway for hours and hours and hours. It just doesn't happen like that. At least in my experience on Canada's Drag Race. I can't imagine why it would be any different on any other show, because they don't want to waste time. They got to keep things running smoothly.
On other shows, I've heard things like it was a really long process getting all the critiques out, because sometimes they had to like stop, change cameras or different stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's just TV. It's par for the course, right? So
yeah.
Over the last few years, my dad has been really making an effort to connect with me more, and like he checks in on me all the time.
Speaking of just TV, you mentioned online that you had a heartfelt mirror moment on the show, which the show is really known for, and a lot of us love those parts of the show, but it didn't get to air. Like, a lot of things don't get to air, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's an hour show. Can you tell us a little bit about what that moment was and what you really wanted the audience to see of Eve 6000 that they didn't get to see, unfortunately?
Yeah, so I talked about my dad. I talked about when I came out, like the kind of things that he said to me, and it was very abusive, and it went on for a long time, and the things that he said to me were like really, really, really horrible. And I talked about it. I said what he said, and then Thea told me that her parents said the exact same thing to her when she came out. So we had a really strong connection from that. And yeah, I was disappointed that it wasn't shown, but I understand why it wasn't, because just the episode before I had talked about my dad, and it was a positive like story where I was talking about how he's trying to be a better father. He's trying to he's trying to connect with me more. And then for it to go back into, okay, and here's what he did to me when I was 14, you know, it wouldn't have made sense. And also they had to connect Suki's storyline to Thea's storyline. They had to just skip over me, you know? So I understand why they do it, you know. It's like a 60-minute show, you know, you don't have unlimited time to cover every single person.
But at the same time, I'm glad you were able to share that story with us, because I feel like a lot of fans would have seen you in a different light had they have, you know, heard these things.
That's why, I know. And you know what? I've literally seen comments where people have said, oh, Eve can't be all that bad because look, when Thea was crying, she hugged her. So like, it just proves that if they had shown more moments of me connecting with the other girls, I wouldn't have gotten so much shit, and I wouldn't be like the least followed girl in the cast, you know? So, one of.
Follow Eve 6000. I promise you will not regret it.
I shouldn't complain, honestly, because at the end of the day, like, I'm grateful to have this platform, and also I think like none of the, you know, negative attention I get is ever going to compare to the racism that I've seen some of the other girls get. Like when Stephanie was announced, I saw a comment that said, oh, representation of Calgary, and it's a fast food worker from the Philippines, blah, blah, blah. But like,
what?
Yeah,
Gross.
She lives in Calgary, bitch. So fuck you. This is Canada.
Yeah.
We're not like Louisiana. Like, calm down.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah, I can't complain about, you know, what I received, because it'll never be that, you know. So I have to just kind of
perspective,
be happy with what I got. Yes.
Even though like no hate is supposed to be tolerated, but I get what you mean.
I came here to represent for all the non-binary people and also for all the big girls, because I think it's really important to show that big girls can be polished, stunning, and, you know, have it all together. I
want to also talk to you about what you said at the end of your time on the show. You mentioned that you want to rep for the non-binary community and polished big girls. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like you got a chance to bring that message across for the non-binary community on the show? Because for repping for the big girls that are polished, hands down, you did that. You don't have to worry about not being shown, because you were polished every single week and you always looked amazing.
Because they can't edit the runways out of the show.
Yeah, but for the non-binary community, can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there were conversations had about being non-binary. Me and Gia talked about it, and Thea, you know, but, you know, like we said, not everything can air. It's disappointing that those didn't air, but there were so many important conversations. Like, we talked about so many really deep, really relevant things, and I think every episode we've gotten one of those. So I think whatever it was left out for, it was worth it, you know? So what I can do is use my platform to represent for the non-binary divas, and that's what I'm doing today. This outfit is inspired by the non-binary flag colors. I've never worn yellow before. This is very new for me.
Well, yellow suits you. I mean, I love it the way it is.
With purple and yeah.
Yeah, mixed with all of that, it's really beautiful.
Next time on Canada's Drag Race,
we're throwing a ball.
Next week is going to be a ball episode.
Right.
If you were going to be a part of that, because you had a lot of sickening outfits, were you prepared to stomp the runway next week? Like, what were we going to get? headpieces,
Oh.
trains, beautiful gowns.
Just wait. Just you wait. I can't give away any spoilers, obviously, because
Right.
you guys that don't know the categories and everything. But when you see, you're gonna love it for sure. Any Canadian will love what I had prepared. And I'll be posting one of them next week and one maybe a little later. But yeah, I'm really proud of what I had brought for that. And also, after the first week, I was really excited for the next creative challenge. I was so excited. I really thought that they were going to do what they did on season 1 and have an episode 4 like group challenge.
Right.
So I was like constantly saying to Pythia and Suki, I was like, okay guys, you guys
Let's
team up with
team
me.
up.
We'll work it all. Yeah.
That would have been an amazing group, by the way, for a creative
Yeah,
challenge
we would
like
have
that.
worked it. We would have worked it.
It would have been really great.
I'm known for being a little shady, a little confrontational or argumentative, but, you know, people just kind of have to get over it. Well, I'm the winner, so you guys can all go home now.
I want to play a little game with you because I play this with everyone. It's Shag, Marry, Kill, the entire cast of
perfect.
season
Love
2. Who's on the chopping block for Kill? Let's start there.
Oh my god. Oh no. Okay, I always tried to be nice, but then I would see the other girls and they weren't as nice, so...
Screw being nice. Let's read
You
people.
know? Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I can't, I would never want to kill any of them.
Okay, who do you put
but
in the doghouse? Oops, sorry.
Okay, put in the doghouse. Let's say Cynthia, because she sent me home.
Good answer. Like, if someone sends you home, you can put them
Yeah.
outside for the night. Who would you marry?
I think I would marry Suki because, you know, they say every relationship you need a flower and a gardener, you
Right.
know? I think Suki and I are both people that can be the flower and can also be the gardener. Like, I think we could also help
Okay.
each other behind the scenes, and we like to do that stuff. So I think
Versatile.
Suki would be good. Yeah. Yeah.
And who would you shag?
Let's say Ocean, just because why not?
Ocean looks like a really, really great time. Like, I feel like you'd have an experience that would change your life.
I guarantee you I would never forget it. That's for sure.
I love that. Before we go, Eve 6000, do you mind just looking to the camera and saying, I'm Eve 6000 and you're watching Too Much Michael?
I'm Eve 6000 and you're watching Too Much Michael.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
I'm so excited. I love your videos. I think you're so great. I love watching your reviews because you keep everything positive, but you give your opinions and you just like don't dog anybody out. And I just love that because some of the reviewers are just a little
mean.
cunts. But if you want, slap a little filter on this, throw some Vaseline on the lens, you know, give me a little, because, you know, some of the other girls have really bad Wi-Fi connections, so they're very blurry, so they look perfect. But my Wi-Fi connection is good, so I need a little filter on there.
I'm gonna take care of you. Hey beautiful humans, you've made it this far in this video. Why not subscribe to my Patreon? You can sign up for exclusive content I don't post on YouTube, or support me making content for this channel. Speaking of, why don't you watch another video?